There are foods that exasperate that situation. For some, it's gluten. For some, it's dairy. For everybody, it's sugar.
Yeah. Inflammatory, number one.
Exactly. So for somebody to be forced, in order to prove they're recovered, to eat an all foods fit diet, everything in moderation, they're basically feeding their anxiety because they're further upsetting that environment within that is telling their brains and hijacking their brains that things aren't going smoothly. So this conventional eating disorder recovery community is taking umbrage with people who are choosing to eat an anti-inflammatory diet, which means that most people are eliminating sugar, they're eliminating gluten, they're eliminating dairy. So when someone comes into me and they're telling me they're vegan, for example, or they're not eating this category of food, or they're not eating it, I will always ask why. And I want to understand their motivation. If they're doing this because, like me, I'm honoring my physiology, I'm honoring my biology, then that's wonderful, and we embrace that. If it's because my sister stopped eating carbs and she lost 23 pounds, so I'm white-knuckling my way through, that's a disordered eating behavior. And that's a dysfunctional belief and a toxic and limiting belief. And that's never going to bring lasting, sustainable success.
But what happens with these people who are told that they, or what happens with people who you said shouldn't be eating all good things?
They show up on my doorstep because the clients that I see who have been through treatment for eating disorders, and many of them have been away for months at a time in residential treatment, they're not given the tools to listen to their body. They're told, in order to be recovered, you need to eat everything. And so when they're home and life gets in the way, and life happens, and they're not feeling well, perhaps, or they're confused about what they're supposed to be eating, and they're confused about what they feel like eating, they're terribly triggered. And they revert back to their restricting and their binging behavior. My approach is all about honoring the physiology that impacts the psychology. I say your biology need not become your biography.
So if, say I want to have, and I don't eat a lot of bread. I never have. I've never been a real sandwich eater. So I think that's 90% of the reason why I've always been able to maintain my weight. It's not that I won't eat a piece of bread. It's that a sandwich just does not appeal to me. But where was I going with this? But say I just got back from France.
Oh, bread's the best.
So I had bread more than I would normally have it. And say I had this pain in my stomach where I knew bread wasn't really good for me. So I might have some kind of gluten intolerance.
Yeah.
How do I recognize that, and how do I modify that?
Okay.
Most people come to this realization that, oh my God, I'm really not feeling as well as I could. Maybe I'm gluten intolerant.
Yeah, I think a lot of people today are aware of that. There's so much in the media about gluten. There are people that refuse to give up gluten, even though they don't feel well as a result of eating it. And in that case, I talk to them about the fact that it's not about the food, it's about the feelings that the food bring up for you, right? But to your point, eating the bread and realizing, gee, you know what? I don't feel that great. My question to you would be, okay, this is a fabulous awareness. So going forward, why would you choose to eat something that you know doesn't make you feel well? That's an empowered choice.
Right.
Willpower which implies restriction, which implies deprivation, is going to be about thinking I can't have bread. Empowered is, I'm choosing not to have it because I want to feel great.
Yeah.
And it's bringing a positivity to it. And that in itself, that empowerment creates a lightness of being. And when we're living in this light, our bodies become lighter, right? I have a great story for you about bread. I chose to give up gluten about 6 years ago for several reasons. Digestive reasons. I was diagnosed with osteoporosis, and it's very high acid food, which is not great for the bones. So this was my personal choice. Recently, I was at a restaurant that's known for their home baked bread. And the bread was put on a table and it looked so great. I said, okay, I don't have celiac. I have to have this bread. If I'm going to eat bread, it's going to be great bread.
You're going to go for the best.
It was chewy. It was amazing. It was so good. I had 3 pieces. My stomach felt like I had swallowed lead for 3 days. And I could laugh at the experience. There was no guilt. There was no shame. But it was a great lesson.
Totally. Right? You're not going to eat it again.
And it's so empowering. It's not demoralizing. What's demoralizing is being told that I have to eat what my body doesn't want me to eat. Right. What's demoralizing is when my choice is taken away from me. And that's also not so much about eating everything. It's about being told that you can't have something.
Right.
I tell my overeaters, self-indulgence in an effort not to feel deprived is only depriving you from who you want to be, depriving you from becoming the change you want to see.
Right.
So let's reframe deprivation. Let's not make it about the food. We are all so much more powerful than the food on our plates. And that's the other thing we need to look at as eaters. Why does food have this power over us? If somebody wants to make that change, the woman that you referred to before, that would be one of the first questions I asked. Why is food so powerful? What is it about the food that you feel you're giving your power up to?
So it's so amazing. It really is. But there's, some people, willpower has a lot to do with it. There are a lot of people who can't eat just one potato chip.
But that's a different story. That's what I call toxic hunger. That's when the food manufacturers have spent billions of dollars to put together combinations of sugars, fats, and salts so that we truly cannot eat just one.
I always say that Frito-Lay is responsible for the downfall of, and the acceleration of America's obesity problem.
But the other point
is Cheeto. It's like, no.
Right. But perhaps if you bring mindfulness to the experience and you eat it slowly and you really taste it and you smell it as it comes to your mouth and you experience how the texture of it changes as you chew it and you swallow it and you really make it a sensory experience, it's easier to stop when it's appropriate.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah,
it really, really is.
A while ago, I had a group that I put together, and when we got to step 4, which is eat mindfully, we conduct an experiment. Now, when you go to Canyon Ranch, they give you a raisin or they give you an almond. I said, no, we're going to practice this exercise with a food that these women feared. And what had come up in the discussion was Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, God, everybody loves those.
So I went out and I didn't buy Reese's. I bought Justin's peanut butter.
Yeah, they're great. They have almond butter and peanut butter.
Amazing. And the dark chocolate, and they are so good. So I gave everybody their own package of 2. And we practiced this exercise in mindfulness, where I just described to you, appreciating the smell, the taste, how the texture changes in the mouth, really experiencing it going down your esophagus to your stomach. everybody was so satisfied after one.
Oh, really? That's so interesting.
So if you do that experiment with a food that you deem not the great, I never say good or bad, but a food that you deem troublesome for you, try it. You know, ritualize the experience. You know, if you're gonna, don't eat from a bag of cookies. Take the cookies and put them on a beautiful plate. Honor yourself with the cookies. Make sure it's a beautiful plate, and you take them out of the bag and you sit down and you're not distracted, and you're certainly not distracted with thoughts like, why am I eating this? And you shouldn't be eating this. And just enjoy the experience. You're not going to eat the whole bag.
Right.
It's honoring yourself, which goes back to that connection to your magnificence, your unique magnificence. Your relationship with yourself mirrors your relationship to everything else.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'm going to have you back because we're going to have like a panel show. That's
okay.
Funny with all my. This is because we could talk about food all day. We haven't even talked about ice cream and desserts or anything like that. So, will you come back?
Oh, I'd love to. And you'll come with me. You'll be on staff.
Definitely. So I want to get to the lightning round. So people can learn about things that, and then what I do is I post the links of things that you talk about in your link and everything on LDTV Talk Scoop, which is my Facebook fan page. So they not only see the episode, which I also can put there in archive, but they see the links. You can have it to your Facebook group. You can maybe have an excerpt from your book that people can access, or anything like that would be fantastic.
Great.
So here's the lightning round.
Okay.
A person that inspired you or inspires you, and why?
Okay. Most recently, it has to be Brené Brown. I watched her Netflix TED Talk about vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And I had always viewed vulnerability as a weakness. She really inspired me to embrace my vulnerability, to embrace any sense of imposter syndrome I might struggle with. And it helped me put ego aside. And it was wonderfully empowering for me.
You're the second person who had Brené Brown on that list. So that's important. Best business advice you ever received?
That's a tough one. Best business advice. Be vulnerable. Be vulnerable. Understand that you don't have to do it right, and you don't have to know everything.
Yep.
You know, we all fall victim to that information trap, where we think we go into a meeting or a session with a client and we have to know everything. I've been inspired the most when I sit and I listen and I allow silence to become part of the session.
Yeah, that's great. Best personal or overall advice you ever received?
Let go. Let go of what's no longer serving you.
An app that you can't live without?
Oh. I don't know. I'm a tech dinosaur. I have to tell you the truth.
Well, that's great. That's great.
I am. I have to say, I'm 64 years old. I'm just learning all this tech stuff. I can't say I have a favorite app. Good.
That's great.
Oh, I have a new one. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to change that. Okay. Because as I said, I'm a dinosaur, tech dinosaur. Right. Now I'm being told in business as an entrepreneur, I have to put myself out there on video. So I found an app, a teleprompter app for my iPhone, so I can upload a script from Dropbox and it plays right near the camera. So you're looking right at the camera. That's my new favorite app. Because I'm such a dinosaur. It's called, I think it's called Teleprompter. It is called Teleprompter. Teleprompter Lite.
Teleprompter Life?
Yeah, Lite.
Light. Okay.
Yes, that's my new favorite app. I take it back. I do have one.
Teleprompter Light. Okay, great. I'm going to go on and see that.
Free. It was free.
Oh, I was going to ask, how much is it?
It was free.
Awesome. We love that. A charity that people should be aware of that's doing great things that they may not be aware of.
I have to say, my family and I started the Live, Love, and Laugh Foundation in memory and in honor of our beloved Stuart. And it's with Memorial Sloan Kettering, and we raised research dollars to find a cure for metastatic melanoma.
That's great. We'll put that link on there.
Thank you, Lynn.
I remember that first fundraiser I went to that you put together. I was blown away by your ability to raise money. I'm serious, Mindy. That was very impressive. It's great. You do great work. A book, lecture, or event that made a difference in your life?
An event. I recently attended an event in San Diego. It was called the Mindshare Summit, and I got to hear Mary Morrissey speak. She was the keynote speaker, and she talked about dreams, and she talked about living our ideal. And one thing she said that really struck with me: you can't live your ideal, the picture that you have for your life, if you're holding the frame. You've got to be in it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll post a link. She probably has a website, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll post a link to her site.
Okay, great.
And we're going to close with one of your favorite quotes. Do you have one?
I do. In fact, I was prepared. Can I read it? Can I read it? Because I have it in my book. It's Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I now choose to calmly and objectively see my old patterns, and I am willing to make changes. I choose to have fun while doing this. I choose to react as though I have found a treasure when discovering something else to release. I see and feel myself changing moment by moment. Thoughts no longer have any power over me. I am the power in the world. I choose to be free. All is well in my world.
Oh, that's fantastic. So we'll post that too.
Right.
I love it. Oh, Mindy, thanks so much.
Oh, Lynn, thank you. This was so much fun.
Oh, it was fun. It absolutely was fun, and we learned a lot. And it's a complex subject that we're going to explore again, because it's something that I think everybody can relate to. And just coming back from vacation, the next time you're on, I want to talk about vacation eating, because I think it can be a whole segment.
You know, again, it speaks to the power of mindset, Lynn.
Yeah, I know.
You know, if food is so powerful over you, then you lose the magic of the experience. You know, when you go to France, you go to Italy, and you have all these fabulous, fabulous options in front of you. If you go there thinking that this is forbidden and that why am I eating this and I'm going to have to start restricting when I go home, you're losing so much.
Yeah, I don't do that.
No, give yourself permission. Give yourself permission. First of all, chances are when you're going on vacation, you're going to have wonderful, wonderful food available to you. To rob yourself of that experience is really robbing yourself of so much joy.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't rob myself of joy.
You know what I like to say to people, because we do a lot of talk about emotional eating. Eating with emotion is a wonderful thing. Eating so as not to feel emotion is when it's a problem.
Oh, can we put that quote on there too? Can you write that for me?
Yes.
That's awesome. Mindy, thanks so much.
Thank you, Lynn. I'll see you soon.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to continue because I'm going to do a couple of things, housekeeping business, but it's been a joy.
Yes, thank you. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye. Mindy's great. I mean, food. We love it, but we don't want it to control us, as she said. So at this segment, I'm going to sign off, but I usually talk about the fact that I want you guys to comment, especially because we're going to have Mindy back. So food questions, please, in the comments. What do you want her to talk to you about specifically, or talk about specifically? How can she answer these questions? So load them up. We want to know that. Also, text tell me, hashtag talk, to 866-320-6011 to enter to win one of our signature smudge sticks from Good Living is Glam. Please do that. Go to LDTV Talk Scoop to get all the links that Mindy talked about, Brene Brown, the great quote from Louise Hay, Mindy's quote about emotional eating, her site, and her new Facebook group. All great. And what I'm fanning? Packing cubes. So I went to Amazon. I Googled in packing cubes. I bought a set of packing cubes, and it changes your life about packing. So it's great. You can put outfits together in these cubes. When you go to the hotel, you just open the drawer, you put the cubes in. Even if you've got things that normally you would hang up, you can keep them rolled in the cube. They will not wrinkle. They're great. Then you can have a cube specifically for things that need to be washed. Put everything in there. When you're packing up, it is a snap. So packing cubes. I will send you the link to the set that I bought on Amazon, which I really love. They weren't the cheapest. They weren't the highest end, but they served me beautifully. So that's what I'm fanning this week, as well as I'm fanning all of you. And so glad you're here. Please comment, share the videos. I'm sure that a lot of people need to know about psychological eating disorders. It's all too common. So anyway, thanks very much. We're going to do the replay at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. All right. See you soon.